Hey guys, today I just want to showcase my Primite Odion build I'm currently using. After the rank reset, we're on season 49 now. Already on day 3, we're at Diamond 1, so that's not bad at all. Just 4 wins away from Master. And this is the first time I'm using Odion, so I'm still learning the deck, but basically this is how you want to play it. Kind of like a just interrupt your opponent as much as possible, and then hopefully from there you can make your own plays, right? Of course, you want to go first with this deck all the time, and you want to just set up as much of your board, as much interruption as you can, you know, without giving your opponent that many draws if they use Max C, or or if they interrupt your plays. But basically, this is the deck list. I only have one card of every Primite, every one copy of every Primite card. Anymore, and I feel like you don't want to like have too many copies in one hand. You know what I mean. And Labradite Dragon is your normal monster. And it is a brick. You almost never want to draw it in your hand, right? But it is a great because since it's a level 6 tuner, you combine it with either the man or Primite Dragon Ether Barrel to make Baron. The only problem is, since you're special summoning it off of Lordly Load, the only problem is that you can't use any of Baron's effects on the turn you summon it, but it's for the next turn where you can use its Omni Negate, and then if it goes further than that, then you can destroy a card on the field. But yeah, this is my deck list. I have 3 Ash, you know, Ash is just great. General Hand Trap, Max C, of course. 3 of every Dominus card, well, except the song one, but Impulse is definitely risky because if you use it from your hand, you turn off all effects with your Earth monsters. That includes Primite Dragon, Ether Barrel. That includes the man. That includes your Fenrir, and that includes also Anubis to search for man. So very risky, but I think it's definitely worth it if you can just that one interruption to prevent a special summon can definitely end their turn and just make it go to you. So the one card I would consider cutting is maybe Soul Drain. The only reason I have Soul Drain in here right now is mainly for Maliss. This is before the ban list on January 8th, so Maliss is still very prevalent, and it probably will continue to be so. So even after the ban lists, I would imagine they've been hit a lot, but still very top tier deck, if not the best deck. So, and then you could also swap out Super Poly. I just have Super Poly here for, you know, a chance of going second if I can break their board somehow, right? One other card you could maybe replace it with is Evenly Matched. I tried Evenly Matched for a while, but overall, like, since this is only a going second card, it's of course dead in your hand if you go first. So at least if you have Super Poly in your hand when you go first, at least this can be a potential disruption, you know? You just set it and hope you can use it on your opponent's board when they have 2 monsters. I have a few generic Super Poly targets, right? Mud Dragon, Garura, Choroso, and also Secretarian. This is for mainly Dracotail. But yeah. And then basically, we could go over some replays here real quick. We got a few. Let's go with this one. Just to show you guys how I play the deck, pretty much. So here we won the coin flip. So here we got search for man with Anubis. That goes through. Normal summon man. And this is where people mainly disrupt you, which is fine. That's fine. Because normally with man you would search for Temple of the Kings, right? Which is I can't check my deck list here, but Temple of the Kings And if you already have Temple of the Kings, then your second search target is definitely Verdict of Anubis here. But since we already have Verdict of Anubis, along with more trap cards, because you need at least 3 or more other spell traps in order to use it, we're doing okay. And plus we have Pot of Desires as potential extender. Again, Pot of Desires is always a risky card, because you're banishing 10 random cards from top of your deck in order to draw 2. But the benefit usually outweighs the cost, so it looks like we banished the only card I say is probably bad to banish is definitely one of our Apophis traps, but that's alright. Draw 2, and look at that. We drew another copy of Man, but also we drew a Treasures of the Kings, which is pretty lucky. But we got it. Set one of our Apophis traps. Set another card in order to search for another copy of Man, because why not? And there you go. So even though our normal summon got disrupted, right, by this purge, we still end on pretty good disruption. We have Verdict of Anubis, right? Negate spell or trap card. Impulse, negate special summon. Imperm, negate monster on the field effects, right? And we also have Apophis here. We summon it, and then we summon out another copy, or one copy of Swamp Deity. We have 2 copies in the deck, so even though we banished one off of Desires, we still have the other copy to use. So, and that's another disruption. That's basically an Omni Negate, almost. But so that's 4 disruption right there, even though we got interrupted. So that's not bad at all. Here he uses Lordly Load. I activate Anubis to get rid of it. And he surrendered. I guess he didn't have any other plays. But yeah, not too bad. Let's check another replay real quick. Probably check like 2 or 3 more. I think in this one, I think we lose. Yeah, we lose the coin flip here. So we're going second. But luckily we do have 2 hand traps here to use. He's playing Dracotail, so we purged this, so going up against Dracotail is tough if they have a lot of extension. But you just gotta hope for the best, and hopefully you have enough disruption. Yeah, see, he had another extender here to fusion summon, but impulse it. And that was all he had, luckily, so now it's our turn. And we should draw a star. Oh, no. So, since we used impulse, we can't use Primite Dragon Ether Barrel, because it's an Earth monster. And we can't even use Max C as a hand trap, because it's also an Earth monster. So, what do? Activate Lordly Load, search Drill Beam, and then we just try to special summon our Labradite Dragon from the deck, so Drill Beam is live, right? But of course, he had his own Max C, so this special summon we're doing is going to give him a card, but even though he drew one, we were still doing, okay, right? Like we have Drill Beam, we have an Impulse, and we also have Super Poly. And I kept Maxi in my hands so to act as a discard for Super Poly if it comes down to it, so 3 disruption, right? Looks like he's trying to go into Fiendsmith. He's playing Fiendsmith Dracotail. I wait here. Goes Requiem. Requiem uses its effect. And here I impulse him. So he doesn't get anything off of that. And he scoops. Honestly, I don't know why he surrendered there. I didn't really have any plays. I had Drill Beam, right? But I had to either draw Treasures of the Kings to even like get any monsters on the board, right? Because I can't use Man's effect because that's an Earth monster, right? Can't use Anubis. So that was the only way I could, potentially win, is if I get Treasures of the Kings, if I draw it. But he ended up just surrendering for whatever reason. Let's try another one here. Here we lose the coin flip again. So as you can see, like as long as you can disrupt your opponent, right? Of course, going second, you still have a chance. Like you should almost never surrender if you're going second, unless it's definitely unwinnable, right? But here we go. So he normal summons Sword Ryzeal. Okay, and of course another tip here: if you have Purge and Ash in your hand, right? Always try to use Ash before Purge, because obviously if you use Purge first, you can't use Ash, because this turns off Dark Water and Fire monsters for the rest of the turn. Or rest of the duel, sorry. Rest of the duel. If you activate it from the hand. So that means Ash is no longer usable. So definitely try to use Ash first. That's what I did. Ash to Sword Ryzeal. Has any other plays? Nope. Passes. That was his only play. So here we're doing okay, right? We have a search for man here. We also have Power Duality to potentially add a useful card, right? But I decided to search for man first. Goes through. Normal summon man. He does Ash it. So after that gets Ash, I Power Duality. And we reveal 3 cards here. Another Purge, Super Poly, and Man. I thought about adding either or Super Poly. I thought about adding this, but I decided to add Man instead because Man is it'll be a follow up next turn. I can normal summon it again, try to search for kings or treasures of the kings, right? And plus, I already have a Purge in my hand, so this is only once per turn, so might as well just keep that one. And Soul Drain is good, not just a generic floodgate, right? But also it makes Swamp Deity live because you need another continuous trap in order to use its negate. And Soul Drain is a continuous trap, so that's great. And it ends up working out. So I searched Man. And even off of the disruption, right? We still have a Purge, Soul Drain, the Floodgate, and then Deity, which is a generic negate, right? Since Soul Drain will be flipped up. And there, I mean, he didn't even try. He said, I'm good. I don't know why. See, people surrender. Sometimes people surrender way too fast, you know? But I guess they just don't want to waste their time. Or who knows, maybe they have something better to do. But yeah. I'll show this loss here. I'll show the next three duels. I'll show the rank up game as well. But here I lost. I think I definitely lose the coin flip, yep. And I'm gonna fast forward this one. This is basically Maliss, yeah. You can see how crazy Maliss is. Draw 2, banish, add back. I can't use Imperm because this negates a trap card. Nope. Here I try to Imperm, but he just dodges it with his trap card that he can activate after setting, of course. That's Maliss for you. And you can see how, of course, this deck is just so insane. Like I'm fast forwarding. I'm literally fast forwarding, and it's just, you know, cyber slop. Like, look at this. Just the way they can recycle multiple bodies, like, it's just insane. So when this happened, and then look, he had another Allure Darkness, just another draw 2. Like, okay, well. See, this will definitely happen. There's not much you can do. It's just, it is what it is. I try to play through it, try to do something, you know, but he has the answer to all my plays. And my last hope here is Desires. I have to get rid of this, because if I don't, that's another just negate. Have to get rid of that with Drill Beam. And, okay, negates that. Desires, but I think he negates this too. Oh no, he doesn't. But I don't draw anything good, so... I was hoping for Super Poly there, maybe, but nah, just... was not enough. But, as you can see, he just clears my board like it's nothing. It is what it is, you know? So, would have had a much better chance if he went first there. But that's Masterduel for you. Coin flip, reigns supreme. We'll check out these next two duels. Win the coin flip, and this is a very good hand. This is a very good hand. So start off with Treasures of the King, set Apophis to Serpent. Here we search for man. And I actually normal summon Primite Dragon here instead of man because my only other search target for man would be Verdict of Anubis, but we already have it in our hand. So if I didn't have Anubis in my hand, I would have normal summoned man to try to search for it. But since I did, I just went with Ether Barrel instead, so I can get Lordly Load and then Drill Beam, which is another disruption, right? And then I could summon my Labradite Dragon and then summon Barone, which I was saying earlier is another Omni Negate during the next turn, so it's great. But either way, it gets impermed, so that play is no longer possible. That's alright though, because once again, even though our normal summon got negated, we still have plenty of disruption. We have Purge, Impulse, Anubis, and then also Apophis, which brings out Deity, which is another negate. So that's 4 disruption. Here he maxes me. That sucks. I did negate it with my Purge, because if I don't negate this, I'm giving him a draw 2, basically, because this special summons itself. That's draw 1. And then if I want to use Swamp Deity, once it's on the field, that's another draw, because that special summons itself too. So I negate it with Purge. That's basically, I just negated Pot of Greed, you know, that's draw 2. I thought it was worth it. Put Deity on the field. Normal summon White Rabbit. I negate this with Deity. So Lingaribo sucks. Is that here? I try to negate the backup, right? But of course he's gonna negate my impulse with his Lingaribo. So now, all I have left is Anubis for disruption. So I'll fast forward here a little bit. Because, I mean, from here I'm just waiting for him to use a spell or trap. And here it is. So here I Anubis him. Negate this, and I wipe his field too, because it's a secondary effect, of course. If you have Temple of the Kings on the field, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls and then inflict damage equal to half the total attack of those monsters. So that ends up helping a lot, but he ends up, of course, bringing back White Binder anyway, draws a card, but he passes, destroys my Ether Barrel, and he sets 1 card. So it's back to our turn. Yeah, I try to search for another man, but he gets rid of it with his trap card here. And he added March Hare to his hand, and that's very problematic because that can just, as a quick effect, that just gets more of these bodies on the field. So here I go with our fusion monster to reset our Apophis traps. Normal summon Ether Barrel. Add Drill Beam, and then he scoops. So the whole idea there was, after adding Drill Beam, I would special summon Labradite Dragon, summon Barone, right? So that can act as another Omni Negate on the following turn. And then we also have Drill Beam, which is also live because of the Apophis traps, counting as normal monsters. So, so we were looking like okay there. We had Drill Beam, one pop from our fusion monster here, after a trap is activated, right? And then the generic negate from Swamp Deity. And then we also had it's hard to see, but we had a Solemn Judgment in our hand, which I was going to set right after. But they ended up just surrendering, so it is what it is. And here's the rank up duel. I'd say here I got pretty lucky. This was against Orcust, actually. I think it was just like... I think it was pure Orcust, so... But even though we lose the coin flip, we draw plenty of hand traps. Imperm, Ash, and then we got 2 Purge. We can only use 1 per turn, but... Normal summons Girsu. Imperm this Girsu, so not only do you negate this effect here, it can also not use this effect where it can special summon Legacy Token. It can't use that either. So negating 2 effects for the price of 1 card. There, and then he gets rid of it to summon, Link summon, what is that, Galetta? Yeah. Here he tries to search for Orchestrated Babel by discarding Harpy's Feather Duster. It's kind of funny, you don't really see Harpy's Feather Duster that much. Not in this deck, I don't feel like, but... I Ash that, of course, because, like I said before, use Ash before you Purge. Oh, that's right. He was playing Horus cards with his Orcus. I thought it was interesting. I never seen this combo before, so so he tries to search with I'm Seti, but there I purge that. And that was all he had. And here I was lucky enough to have a starter, Treasures of the Kings, in my hand already. Then I end up drawing Primite Lordly Low. So now he has basically nothing. He has 1 unknown card in hand, right? And then this on the field, which does nothing. So he has 1 unknown card in hand. I try to use treasures here, set Apophis. Then I try to search. I was going to search for Man, but he ashes it. He ashes the search, which is fine. Because luckily enough, I have Lordly Load. Search Ether Barrel, normal summon Ether Barrel, set Drill Beam. And here, of course, we special summon Labradite Dragon off of the effect of Lordly Load. And then we go Barone. And then he surrenders. So even though Treasure of the Kings gets negated, we lost the coin flip. So but we used our hand traps effectively to stop his plays. On the next turn, we would have had a lot. We would have had Barone, right? Omni Negate. We had our Apophis Trap. We had a Drill Beam. And we also had another Purge, which I was going to set if the duel continued, right? But yeah, that was it. That was the rank-up game, and well, now we're pretty close to Master. I'm very confident I can hit it with this deck here. Once again, this is the deck list. Just generic stuff, right? I have the 1 copy Fenrir. Just it's a nice body to have on the field, right? Especially if it's banishing effect. But that's the deck. I might do maybe an update once I do hit Master, or hopefully hit Master 1. That's always the goal. So I might do an update video once I do that. But yeah, I'm having fun with this deck, and it'll be great to keep using it. But that's all, guys. Thanks for watching.